Welcome to Fashion Podcast and a special edition devoted to British designer Nicholas Oakwell, and we are here in Ned Doha. I'm surrounded by amazing pieces from his new collection, World of Astoria, and I will tell you much more. Wait for the interview with Nicholas. Hi, Nicholas. I'm so happy to meet you and big honor to have you in Doha. Tell me, is it your first time or you're a regular person here?
Not my first time. I've been here many times. Been coming here for about 14 years now. So at least 20 times, I would say.
Wow.
At least. I can't even count.
What was the first time? What do you remember about that experience?
The landscape's very different now, the skyline for sure. So 14 years ago, I remember being asked to come here for a client, and I arrived in and collected from the airport and went straight to the residence, did the fittings, stayed one night and then left. So it's a very different city now. So, but it's exciting. I mean, traveling the world with the couture, it's a wonderful experience.
I see. The Doha clients, are they special? What's main difference you would define about Doha clients regarding your couture pieces?
Doha clients, I say, have got beautiful taste because they're choosing our dresses, but they're very aware of themselves. They're very gracious. They're very kind. And you see that in the way they hold themselves and where they wear the gowns as well. They're not into sort of big sparkly dresses and being very showy and red carpet, sort of like Hollywood thing. There's a very different level of taste and style. They know how to hold themselves, their postures. They know how to do their hair and their makeup. So I love working with the ladies from Qatar because they really understand style, not fashion. Yes, they understand fashion, but they really understand style, and they learn it so early on. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time now. I've been about 30 years when I used to work for another designer, and I've seen over the decades, the younger girls a lot more educated, a lot more aware. I think now with social media, they're seeing a lot more as well. So not just educated in the schools, is actually in what's been given through to them in social media. And they're very aware of their own personal style. They keep away from the fashion. Like they have the Birkins and that sort of stuff, but they're beyond that. They really are very aware.
So you think that couture is always away from fashion?
Yes.
So couture is not fashion?
Couture's got nothing to do with fashion.
Very.
And I would say very much you see all these luxury brands have the couture labels, but the couture industry in that level is they're not. Are they interested in what their couture is? Yes, but it's very much into promoting the brand. Where for me, couture is the art of beautiful clothes and beautiful dressing.
So they're more marketing than the handcraft, right?
Yes, I'm very much into the craft. Each gown is very much a story into them. The embellishment, the embroidery, the beading, the draping, the corsetry, the tailoring. There's something in every single piece. So I'm very passionate. I'm in the workroom with my team. I'm not a designer who just sits there, sketches and says make. I'm in there with the techniques, showing the team, developing, trying to make everything what's in the head. So yeah.
That's amazing. Let's go back a little bit in the history of how you started. And you started as an amazing head designer, and your graduation collection were already sold out, and you start to work in age of 20 and get so famous, but you make a step back and go to learn how to do couture. So how was it for the 20 years old or 23 years old boy to refuse from that fame and maybe good income and go start from scratch? How did you do this?
I think when studying at college back then, you weren't taught about how suddenly you'd be brought into the limelight or become famous. I mean, just famous in my industry and making for designers and celebrities wearing the stuff. So it was quite sort of, there's a 20-year-old boy who really was finding it quite shocking. And I was very much an artist. I was creating the hats I was making. So, and that's what I always wanted to do. When I went to college in 1986, I wanted to learn couture, but couture was a dying industry. It was very much those old grand dame houses, Chanel, Dior, Valentino, and it was a very sort of limited market. And then it started changing, and that's the time that I was very much aware of what was going on. I really wanted to learn the techniques. I learned millinery because I was learning how to make. I was really physically blocking the hats and learning the techniques, and my millinery tutor was teaching us. We did knitwear, we did shoes, we did lots of different things. But I really gravitated to the hats. So I did hats for 3 years, but I just wanted to make clothes. I really wanted to go back into making clothes. So it was one of those decisions: do I go to Paris or do I stay in the UK? And an opportunity just came. Obviously, the universe put this opportunity right in front of me, and so I took it. And I was there for 6 years, and I learnt from the drapists, the cutters, the tailors, the beaders, all those different. And it was very much the old couture techniques, the very heavy, laboured garments. I mean, beautiful, but I really learnt all that, and that was the foundation, sort of me doing couture. Because couture for me is, everyone says you have to do these techniques, that techniques. You know, when you're doing a couture collection in Paris, there's certain disciplines that you have to have, and that was created by Worth originally, and they continue on those rules. But techniques move forward, and we need to continue to making techniques modern, fresh. The customers are younger, so we need to keep on moving forward with technology in making gowns. Like, you can't just everything hand laboured, you've got to move forward. So that was the jump for me to really sort of go back into learning couture. I did it in the last 20, 30 years now. I've been doing it and never stopped. I've done my uniform business, as you know, but the couture has always been the core sense of me. I'm one of those lucky people where I don't have a job. This is what I do, you know. This is what I create as part of my life. So unfortunately, I am all of it, you know. And I know, you know, some of my team just like, who would live and breathe it, but it's me.
What's your favorite part when you're creating the piece? It's the sketching, or it's seeing the final?
The final piece, because I can't draw as good as my final pieces. So no, it's seeing it come to life. And everyone keeps saying, "Which is your favorite piece? Which is your favorite piece?" Each time one comes through onto the stand when we're starting to, you know, finalize it, it's just like, I love it. I fall in love with these pieces. It's like a child. How do you pick your favorite child? You can't. Everyone had its own personality, its own uniqueness, and you know, and the struggles to get to it as well.
Nice. So how the child is growing and changing from the idea to the realization. Did you see sometimes that it might be different than what you was thinking, or it's most of the time exactly as you imagine?
I think when I'm designing a collection, you start off very much sort of, you had your sketches and have them on the wall, and you start sort of taking pictures off and adding more on, and it keeps revolving like that. Then you're starting to develop shapes and silhouettes and techniques and things, and you may go down one avenue and it's not working, so you go down. But then when you're doing one dress, something comes from it. So it's sort of a whole series of ways of doing it. This collection came very strong for me. Normal collections, so for example, I did Zulu, and Zulu was very much sort of about one character. I don't have a sort of a muse as one person. I create the muse. I create this character inside my head, and who she is, her life. So exactly. So it builds this character, and it's her wardrobe I'm creating. But this collection was Waldorf Astoria, was very much based on the women of Waldorf Astoria, whether the Astors, whether they owned it, Josephine Baker, who used to dance there, or Millicent Hurst, who used to be there, married to a billionaire, to Jackie Kennedy, who was there, and her sister was there. Capote's women were there. There's so many people, so many women. Marilyn Monroe lived in there. So many women. Wallace Simpson lived there with her husband, who was the abdicated king. So there's so many people, females, strong characters who've been iconic, who've lived in there. So each piece was very synonymous to that person. So I really researched that person, and then the pieces. So
Go deep. How you do this? You look at the pictures, the videos, you read about. How do you go inside of that character?
Exactly what you said. Really researching, and I have to say nowadays with the internet it's so much easier because you don't have to go to the libraries and find books and and old magazines, and now it's very much easier to do it on the internet. But still going through and really reading and understanding these people.
They have like a ritual. Like I talked to one designer. She say, "I make a tea. I make a deal like a dull ambience. I make a special music for me to understand." They open like a jazz or something to prepare for a certain era, or you keep it on your mind. Or
It's constant. I'm one of my brain doesn't sleep. So even when I'm sleeping, my brain is processing. So I'll wake up in the morning and I go into the work room and I say to the team, okay, we need to change this, we change that, do this, do that. So my brain is, so it's a constant thing. I don't rest.
but it's okay for you because you get used to that, right? It's like your normal condition.
Yeah, this is how I am.
When people ask you when your day off, you're like, I'm not really working, so it's just.
But this is not my work. Yeah, it brings me so much joy and happiness making clothes. If I could just do this and not worry about running businesses or anything like that, I would just love to sit there and make clothes.
It's something that you could do for free if you're happy.
Yes.
Right? Like it's something that makes you so happy that you don't see hours.
Yeah. And I hope my passion and my love of doing this is shown in the clothes, but my clients love it as well. I think they appreciate the love and energy I put into the pieces. And something I always say to them is, how do you feel? Because you need to put something on. It makes you feel beautiful. Doesn't matter what you look like, it's making you feel beautiful. And that you've already won the game. Look in the mirror, there's Sig. And that's what it's about. It's just clothes bring you joy and happiness.
Whereas, but you said that in your fitting room there is no mirrors.
There's no mirror in our fitting room.
So how?
So they come out and then they see. But I ask them already when they're in the fit, how do you feel? I said, I feel beautiful. But I've not put it on.
I feel.
It's how it touches the body. It's in exactly the right. They can feel it already, and that's what we need to give them the confidence, make them feel. And then when they see how they look, that's joy, that's happiness.
Are you taking notes, all the notes from the client, and then you changing something up to your perspective of seeing the client, or you following exactly the steps that they want it to be? Are you putting your like creativity inside this process that to surprise a client?
I think the clients
Or a balance?
trust me.
Trust.
So I think that's why they come to me. They see this beautiful gown, but then can you make it for me? And there might be a slight adjustment to it. To fit their body shape, their body type, to accentuate certain aspects of the body which are beautiful, and we want to create that for them. I think there's a lot of trust. There's a trust both ways.
Okay, so going back to your No Uniform brand, I saw that you created a lot of beautiful garments and collection for here in Doha for Fairmont and Raffles, and you work for such chains as Four Seasons, so it's a really high standard and high demand. And I saw that you put in a lot of historical moments and historical references to your costume. So how do you balance between being a uniform and very useful, right, and being a piece of yours still as a couture? So how you find this balance?
It's designing. I love designing and creating. So when we're doing uniforms, I try to sort of push the boundaries. And it's the same thing for me, how the staff or the team who are wearing uniforms feel. Because you want them to deliver an excellent service. And it's part of the arrival experience when you move in when you walk into the hotel. You see the hostesses, the reception team, the concierge. It brings a sense of occasion. Clothes should bring joy and happiness, as I said before, and the sense of occasion. And that's what the uniforms do as well. So the team feel fantastic, and the guests, as they walk in, they see the ladies wearing a beautiful dress. They can see the gentlemen in beautifully cut suits or just a casual shirt with a pair of jeans. It's how you put it all together. Yeah, I mean, I love doing it just as much as the couture. It's different for sure. There's things that you have to think about. They have to be able to do a job. It needs to be washed and cleaned regularly. They need to, perform all these sort of things. So it's very different than making a couture dress, but still there's certain.
It looks like couture. Like there are some dresses you showed me. It's so functional that it looks like it's beaded pieces, but actually you can wash it.
Correct. Yeah. And that's very much how I'm pushing the boundaries as well. When I was saying to the team, okay, let's do these lace dresses, but lace it rips. You can't lip because so we did embroidery onto a tulle. Machine embroidery is washable. It looks like lace, but it's hard wearing. They've worn the same dresses for 18 months. 2-3 times a week they're wearing it as though got It's great, and that's how it should be. And I think like that. If there's a problem, there's always a solution.
True, true. What was the biggest order that you received in this field of the uniform? What was the maximum pieces that you did?
We did a project with 10,000 staff in a hotel.
Samsung.
Yeah, it's in the casinos. So it was,
Wow.
yeah.
How much time it took you to deliver?
That one took us almost 2 years from design concept with all the, I think, 280 something stars we had to create. So yeah, it was a big project.
And every stuff fitted? Like,
Yep.
oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. Okay, your current collection here that we are surrounded is beautiful garments. It's inspired by Waldorf Astoria.
Yes.
I know that it's you don't like when I ask you what's your favorite piece, but can you describe me that one, which is a kimono? So I think this is the masterpiece which everything started from, right?
I think there's definitely two major pieces in the collection which are very synonymous to Waldorf Astoria. One is the kimono. So this is based on the Japanese empress, Michiko, and she visited the hotel with the emperor, and she stayed there and resided for a while. So the idea was inspired by the traditional kimono, but then making it modern, and then how do we fuse the two countries together? And there was very much an alliance at that time after the war. We became very strong together. So it was, if you look at the kimono, you have the building of Waldorf Astoria, because normally kimono is the landscape of Japan. So this was the landscape of New York. So we have the Waldorf Astoria, you'll see the Chrysler Building, you'll see the Empire State Building, you'll see Central Park, and in Central Park is the Japanese Garden, there's the horse and carriage, which you see around Central Park. That's the classic yellow taxis in there. But then you also have the dragonflies, the butterflies, the cherry blossom tree. So it's really a fusion of both America and Japan into that kimono. And then the other piece would be the Spirit of Achievement, which is the statue that's outside the hotel, which was created in 1931 when they rebuilt the hotel.
The one in the just the
Exactly. There's a piece of that's in platinum, and it's outside the hotel. So I made the gown sort of very much inspired by that, and it's made from metal. So metal sequins instead of plastic sequins, because sequins normally tend to see plastic, but I chose metal because I wanted that luster the same as the statue. So yeah, so that was inspired by it. So that's the two main pieces of the collection.
Amazing. Your favorite brand? You're wearing which brand now?
I'm wearing Thom Browne.
Thom Browne.
Yeah.
Okay, is it your favorite brand?
At the moment, yes, but I move around.
Okay.
I mean,
Why? Can you give me like short explanation why you like Tom Ford? Oh, sorry, Thom Browne.
Thom Browne, it's almost like a uniform, and he calls his collection a uniform, so it's very easy to buy from and just get dressed. And I like the proportions. I like the sort of the humor of it. I like the sort of traditional sort of tailoring aspect. Beautifully made, and it's just there's a little smile with it. I think it's a little cheeky, little flowers and things.
Sure.
So,
and the last question: if you had, maybe you have a wish list, maybe no, of some celebrities who you want to dress up. So, what are those that is still in the list?
I've been very fortunate to dress some beautiful women, talented women, whether actresses, singers, artists, dancers. So it's not just so that everyone thinks the red carpet is film actresses or songers. I'm also very much into sort of ballet dancers and other types of art form. I couldn't pinpoint one lady. It's Eddie. I mean, there's lots of very talented women, very gifted women, very important women in the world that are changing the world, which are very important. So it's always an honor to dress a lady who is changing the landscape of the world, whether it be from song or dance, to politics, an artist. I think it's a celebration of women.
I see. Very diplomatic.
Ah.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. It was really a pleasure to talk to you, and we will be so happy to see you again in Doha.
Thank you for welcoming me. Bye-bye.